If I were to ask you, how do you please God? I wonder what you would answer. It's a question worth thinking about, right? I mean, how can we as human beings please God? Maybe we bring him a certain gift. But then as you think about that, you realize he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. There's not really anything that he needs. Well, maybe we render him some kind of service. When you think of Acts 17, he's not really served by human hands as though he needed anything. How can we please God? The author of Hebrews tells us how Enoch pleased God. So let's look at that. Hebrews chapter 11, verses 5 and 6. By faith, Enoch was taken up so that he should not see death, and he was not found because God had taken him. Now, before he was taken, he was commended as having pleased God. So how did Enoch do it? Verse 6. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. There's the secret. Faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. So we want to please God, we want to draw near to him, we have to have faith. Believe that he is and that he rewards those who seek him. So here's a problem then. If you look at Romans 8, this is what it says in verse 7 and 8. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God. All right, so having faith and being in the flesh are at odds. Right? The flesh is hostile toward God. It doesn't want to draw near to God. And it doesn't believe the things about God that faith does. And so it's impossible for those who are in the flesh to please God. This is why Jesus said you have to be born again, right? John chapter 3. He tells Nicodemus in verse 3. Jesus answered him, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. He says later, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. So, if we want to draw near to God and enter his kingdom, we've got to be born again. That which is born of flesh is flesh, that which is born of spirit is the spirit. We've got to have the Spirit because the Spirit helps us have faith. And it's faith that pleases God. Now, obviously, faith does things. Faith does render gifts and service to God, but it's not those things that ultimately, basically please him. It's the faith. It's the trust in him and things that we believe about him that are true. So I'm just asking you today, how can you please God? Trust him, believe him, have faith in him.